With injury updates and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Explaining his decision to sign with TNA over AEW following his departure from WWE, Nick NEMETH told Chris Van Vliet, "I wasn't close to signing with AEW. I love so many people there. I've had a couple of conversations with Tony Khan in the past, and I rooted for those guys every step of the way. AEW being a thing helped a lot of people, even in the worst case scenario, with negotiations and setting up their careers for years to come. I watched every Wednesday, partly because I have to talk about it on Thursday, but also because I've come to know and respect everyone on that show. It's got so many moving parts that I don't even know if I could fit my old style into it. I can adapt to anything, but if I had to remember a long, complex sequence like some of those matches, I'd probably lose the emotional flow and just focus on remembering spots. Still, when AEW puts on those pay-per-views, they blow the roof off. It's incredible. With TNA, I thought about Kurt Angle. He's my hero. I knew I'd never be him, but I also knew what he did for that company was special. I thought maybe, just maybe, I could do something similar. People respect me, and maybe my being there could help make TNA a little bigger and better, even by 1%. Once I met the locker room and everyone behind the scenes, I knew this was the right fit." Revealing why Becky Lynch will not be at the WWE Crown Jewel event in Australia, Sean Ross Sapp noted on The Hump, "It's just her taking that show off, those shows off, because she's not booked for the PLE. They can make it work. There's no reason to fly people over there just to have them there. That's like a 22-hour flight, man. That's a tough trip. I really want to go to Australia, but I don't want to take that flight. You feel like you live there by the time you land, and then you have to do it all over again coming back. That's like 40 to 45 hours total on a plane when you count airport time. She'll be back in 2 weeks, and that'll be that." Along with Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston has a new WWE deal. With Fightful Select reporting, Kofi Kingston re-signed with WWE at some point earlier this year. WWE sources indicated that they were of the belief that the deal would be a 5-year contract, taking him into 2030 when he'll be nearly 49. The deal came down to the wire and was actually only finalized in September, a source close to the situation told Fightful. He's among the most respected locker room presences in pro wrestling. As the most recent edition of SmackDown got just over 1 million viewers, fans began calling for Triple H's firing from his position as Chief Creative Officer. Now, Ringside News has said, WWE is making behind-the-scenes adjustments to its SmackDown creative direction, and while the company hasn't linked it to fan outrage, the timing of the shift comes just days after the #FireTripleH hashtag gained serious traction on social media. According to Bodyslam.net, WWE is moving forward with internal changes aimed at improving the quality of Friday Night SmackDown. Road Dogg is expected to stay as a lead writer, but there will be additions to the team to make the show more enjoyable moving forward. This internal update came only a few days after last week's SmackDown episode drew criticism for its pacing, promos, and a noticeable drop in viewership, with numbers falling to 1.030 million viewers, down from 1.238 million the week prior. Many fans voiced their frustrations online, directing much of their ire toward Triple H himself. Although there's no official confirmation that the online outrage led to WWE's creative changes, the timing raises obvious questions. The Fire Triple H hashtag trended for nearly 24 hours, sparked by complaints that the game's grip on WWE's direction has become creatively stagnant. Fans pointed to overexposure of certain stars, dragging segments, and inconsistent consistent storytelling across brands. Former WWE writer Vince Russo also weighed in on the backlash, warning that fan sentiment is shifting. "I think we are really going to see the fan base start to turn on Triple H," Russo said on Writing with Russo. "You tie that to the fact that the guy puts himself all over everything, and I'm telling you, I think people are going to start turning on him going into 2026. Whether or not the hashtag backlash was the last straw, WWE is clearly aware something needs to change. The decision to reinforce SmackDown's writing team rather than overhaul it suggests the company is looking for a course correction without completely resetting the board. As of now, WWE has not publicly addressed the situation or the fan backlash." Former WWE star Michael Tarver revealed on Instagram that he suffered a stroke, writing, "Last night I was told I was having a stroke. I don't ever emote. I don't ever sell, as we say in the wrestling biz, where I spent 20 years of my life. I told nobody until I was forced to last night. I had a 202/114 blood pressure reading, and the few people I told right before taking myself to the ER, I'm thankful for your persistence and also that I actually listened. I was in my bed for a few hours as they were testing and working to get my BP down. And I actually started to have thoughts about my mortality. What a way to die. I have never drank or smoked in my life, and to fall asleep and not wake up because of my blood pressure. I thought about my babies who are all adults now and all of my years of fighting depression and suicide attempts over the past 20 years. I thought about my family, and I just felt this overwhelming responsibility to get up out of that bed and live. I haven't shared this much detail with anyone as I am still processing all of the weird emotions I'm being overcome with, but the sun came up and so did I. Thank you, Jesus." Despite news of his contract with WWE coming to an end, Santos Escobar is re-signed with the company. Now, Ringside News has said Santos Escobar had serious momentum lined up in AAA, but those plans got torched the moment he let his WWE contract expire. According to Bodyslam.net, Escobar was scheduled to defeat El Hijo del Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship before his WWE deal officially ran out at midnight on October 6, 2025. This title win was fully mapped out as part of Escobar's rise within AAA following its acquisition by WWE. He wasn't going to be alone. Angel and Humberto, better known as Los Garzas, were reportedly slotted to capture the AAA World Tag Team title alongside Escobar's push. The storyline was meant to reset their position within the new AAA WWE structure, but once Escobar decided not to renew his WWE contract, those creative plans were dropped. Everything that had been in motion was shelved before it ever reached TV. With him back in the WWE fold after deciding to re-sign, it remains to be seen if these original plans are brought back to the table. It appears that AEW's Kota Ibushi was injured during the taping of Collision the other night, as Sean Ross Sapp reported. The word backstage in AEW is that the Ibushi injury is serious, and it looks like it will have him out for quite some time. PW Insider added, the word making the rounds backstage at AEW is that Kota Ibushi suffered a broken femur. There has been no official announcement yet. Footage shows Ibushi being rushed to an ambulance after his injury. Providing more information on the lawsuit over WWE's merger with UFC, Ringside News wrote that the ongoing legal battle over WWE's merger with Endeavor is intensifying, with TKO CEO Ari Emanuel set to be deposed under oath on December 2nd. The questioning will take place as part of the shareholder lawsuit currently being heard in Delaware's Court of Chancery, according to filings obtained by WrestleNomics. Emanuel, who played a key role in the 2023 merger that created TKO Group Holdings, is expected to face questions about the terms of the deal and his communications with Vince McMahon. Attorneys representing WWE shareholders are alleging that McMahon intentionally steered the sale toward Endeavor because he believed Emanuel would allow him to maintain power within the company, something other potential buyers reportedly were not willing to do. The deposition schedule includes several major WWE figures. Former co-CEO and board member Stephanie McMahon will testify on October 24th, while longtime executive Frank Riddick will be questioned on October 28th. Vince McMahon himself is scheduled for November 12th, and Paul Triple H Levesque will appear on November 4th. WWE President Nick Khan's deposition has been moved to November 19th, after initially being set for later that month. Other key names include Brad Bloom, a close McMahon associate who now serves as president of McMahon's new venture, 14th and I, who will be deposed on November 14th at WWE headquarters. Mark Zhu, Executive Vice President of Strategy for TKO and Endeavor, is slated for December 5th. The shareholder lawsuit, titled In Re World Wrestling Entertainment Inc. Merger Litigation, accuses Vince McMahon and members of WWE's board of directors of breaching their fiduciary duties during the sale process. The plaintiffs claim McMahon manipulated the merger to ensure his continued influence after returning to the company in early 2023. They also allege that McMahon wanted to finalize the deal with Endeavor to avoid potential fallout from sexual misconduct allegations that surfaced during the same period. Depositions are part of the discovery process, meaning their transcripts are not automatically public. However, excerpts could later be filed as evidence if the case proceeds to trial. This lawsuit runs parallel to a separate federal case involving McMahon, who faces sexual misconduct allegations from former employee Janelle Grant. The shareholder plaintiffs argue that these allegations were one of the motivating factors behind McMahon's determination to merge WWE with Endeavor. As testimony from top executives continues, the case is shedding new light on the power dynamics and the behind-the-scenes maneuvering that shaped WWE's billion-dollar merger. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.